Welcome to Last Chance Practice. We will be talking about FT8Off, and TO has changed a bunch of rules. So we will be talking about his rules, the rules change that TO and HamRadio made. So I will get you that link momentarily, but Jim is in the waiting room, so I will bring him on and we can talk about his experience. And he said you played with FT8Off last week. What was your thoughts of how it went last week?
I thought it went pretty good. The setup was not real complicated. You just make that one change to WSJTX, so we upload the data to I don't know if it's your server or Beer Snacks, but
Beer Snacks.
Yeah, I thought so. That was pretty straightforward. I apologize for this camera angle. This is a monitor camera.
Oh, I have the same laptop camera as well that I'm using as well. So
yeah, I'm at work still, but I've got the door shut, so they'll think I'm doing like some serious network guy stuff or something. I thought it went pretty well. I mean, once you make the change into WSJTX, it's easy enough to do. I just set up a separate config and jumped in there, and I got in there real late because I didn't get on the stream until late, but I thought that was pretty straightforward. I read over TO's rule changes. Mm-hmm. I have a question about TO's rule changes, and it might be my inexperience with WSJTX. So I can use two radios now.
Correct.
That right. So I got one in my shop and one in my house, so I could remote one of them and sit at the other one. But what I had a question about was he said something in there, and I don't remember the exact wording, was about changing the frequency on WSJTX. So I wasn't sure what that meant exactly.
I read the rules that he proposed in a discussion that I coded. I did not see that rule, so the thing I want to do.
I'm trying to find that in Discord. I think he put it in announcements in the Discord. A document.
I am actually going to share that. If I can find the window, I will share that. That's what I was doing while you were talking. Was I was bringing up the. At least I thought I was. Now the question is, which window where did it go? That's the problem when you have like 100.
Oh yeah.
100 tabs open to try to find one to share in StreamYard is not.
Okay, here we go.
You want to share? You want to share it a minute if you have it up handy?
I do. I've got it up right now.
Okay. Yeah. Share that a minute.
Let me close out of all the top secret stuff.
Okay. Otherwise, actually, that is why I could not find it, was because I actually accidentally closed the window.
Okay. Yep. Hang on one second. I got to go do Mac stuff to authorize this.
Okay. I got it.
You find it? I mean, I have it.
Yep.
I just got to click a few things here.
Okay. Yeah. So it's right there.
Whatever. Okay. Yep. That's it. I'll cancel the screen share.
Okay, so we have objective, bands.
Let's see. General rules. Number 8 under general rules.
Number 8 under general rules. Alternating CQ on
right. So is that where I do CQ and then I move the little transmit doohickey and change the part of the band I'm in Like on 30 meters, for example, instead of being on the left side of the screen, I'm all the way over on the right side of the screen. So if I park on 30 meters on a specific spot, I have to stay in that specific spot?
No, that's, you can have the option of jumping around and following the CQs you answer. So that's not, my guess is it is with the remotes is that you cannot do CQs on the same, like, so if you said you had a remote station, so you could do a two remote stations, one on calling CQ on, or this is my understanding of it, and we'll ask Tio when he joins us. My understanding is that, and I'm gonna zoom in this so people can actually see this a little bit. He's asking, how I read this is, you can't, if you're running two stations, you can't have one calling CQ on even and the other calling CQ on odd on the same on the same band. That is how I read that. So just want to call out a couple people that I see in the chat. Steve, welcome. Terry, welcome. FEP Labs, if you're still in the house, welcome. And what?
That's me. I'm FEP Labs.
Oh, you're FEP Labs. Okay, welcome. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. And yeah, so welcome to all that are watching. For those who did not, who are watching, but yes, we are going over the rules or talking about them. And so, yeah, so this is.
I remember us talking about this the other day, the number 7 remote receivers outside of the station location. I think Tio said something about it needs to be within your grid square at least, and not a 1,500 watt remote station in 4 states over or something like that. I hope my shop and my house are in the same grid square. They're 80 feet apart, so I'm guessing I'm probably good on that one.
But and a comment he made yesterday is not how makes it me think that he's not referring to that, because he talks about the prime example of that everyone uses for remote station is Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, who makes it known that he has a station that he remotes into in Costa Rica.
Right.
So he was talking that in theory, Jason could get on his radio in his his home TH or his home location, and at the same time get on his station in Costa Rica and make and make contacts with himself on and just go through all the bands and all the modes and just keep making contact with himself. And he said that would be valid for him to win, because he's going to be racking up the DX points. He's going to be racking up the
well, and number 5 says, remote operation is permitted if all transmitters, receivers, and antennas are personally owned by you.
Yep.
So I don't know if he owns the station in Costa Rica or.
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a place that he owns down there. My guess is that 7 is dealing with this. The receiver has to be in the same location as the station itself. So you can't have a station in one location but using SDR receiver in a different location.
Right.
Like you can't be using web SDR from Utah to actually here do receiving, but your actual station where you're transmitting is in Florida.
Right.
Just for picking up states. That's my understanding of 7. But yeah. So there is new point. Where does it talk about? Okay. I will need clarification on this because we implemented FT4 and there's special points for FT4. So I will need to clarify number 12. Because yeah, that's
right. I mean, most of this is pretty straightforward, really. I don't know what the old rules were, but if you look at this, the only other thing that I think he said in here, where was it? Talked about power output somewhere.
In the scoring, like right here, I'm looking at the scoring.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that, right? Extra points for QRP or whatever, but no, I thought he had something else about up. It must be up top. There we go. Under the main rules, 2 transmitters, a maximum of 2 may be used at any given time. Total power must not exceed 1,500 watts on any band at any time. Anything above 100 watts makes you a war criminal. So we're limited to 100 watts. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have an amplifier. So the best I'm going to have is 100 watts anyway.
Okay. So I don't see exactly where that is, but
3rd paragraph down under FT8Off rules.
Okay. Okay. So 2 transmitters. Okay. Just war criminal is just a way of saying is not saying it's not allowed. It is
tacky.
Just no. It's more of a it's a way of poking jabs at people and just joking around and teasing people.
So, like I said, it didn't affect me because I don't have an amp. So
yeah. So it's yeah, it's more of just that, especially with if you remember how the thumbnails were, that when they first started out, they were talking about criminals being looked for and all that sort of inside joke thing.
Right.
And that is my guess of where that's where the teasing of war criminals plays along with that inside joke. And let's see here. Terry is asking, Rule 4, yes, you can do. Yes, you can do POTA with at the same time. And actually, let's go down to the scoring.
Hey guys, I've got to go check in with the man. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. So with POTA, and I'll take this off so you can see. Let's go through the points. So we have the same 1 point per contact, the same 2 extra points for if it's a DX. Currently, we are in the transition of switching it over to use cty.dat file. 3 points for a special event, and those need to be, if you have a special event, you need to submit that to Dan Beersnack, and he will have that adjusted. 4 is 1 additional point for QRP, which is 20 and below. And then, as Terry was asking, if you're doing SOTA or POTA, it is an additional 4 points. So per the scoring of this, it weights very highly to have to encourage POTA and SOTA. So it is very much encouraged to get people out in parks and out of your house. And then, so this is a question that I am wondering with only FT8 currently, is this FT4 contacts are 50% of score. So if you have, let's say you have, if you're doing, you have a DX contact and it's QRP, that's going to be a total of 4 points. But if you're doing it in FT4, it'll only get scored for 50% of that, so you'll only get 2 points. So that is why I don't understand his FT8 only does not. I will need to clarify that with him once he joins us. So welcome to, we currently have 7 viewers. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe and notification buttons. And let's switch over. We did a quick view of the rules. Go take a look at them yourself and post any questions in the comments that you have about them, and we can discuss them. But in the meantime, I am going to switch to going and seeing what contacts I can make. Currently, I am running on 20 meters. So let's see what contacts I can make. I am also doing POTA. So I am going to be calling CQ POTA. Let's do just a moment. I am going to shut off my inverter so that I can hear a little bit better on the bands. So, okay, so looks like 2700 here. Nope, 2700 isn't clear. So yeah, just trying to find a clear spot. Let's go up here. and call CQ POTA. So let's see what we got for CQ POTA. So looking over here at Grid Tracker. So this is what we have, getting heard fair amount. Running a little with my with how my power setup is going. I'm running at about 60 watts, 60, 70 watts. So let's see. Okay, so we're getting heard by, let's start getting heard a fair amount. So let's start responding to some of these CQs and see what we can do. Okay, actually, so, I am getting K5UH in Texas. Okay, that's down there in southern Texas. I am hearing him on a -12. Let's see. He is hearing me on a -10. And I need to update my... Oh, where am I? I need to update my comment. So for that, for SOTA and POTA, the SOTA and POTA bonus, you need to put sorry, I am not good at thinking about two things at once. So, okay, I am, just for those interested, I am currently at K2319 in Iowa. But in the comments, you need to put POTA, and I'm typing in what putting in the comments. So you put POTA or SOTA, and then the locator. So that's how I put my comments. And Terry. Terry, to do that, you just insert it down, and you probably cannot see that. So let me, just a moment, and let me put that visible. Wide graph, there. So as you look on my bottom here, on my transmit 6, I just modify it so it does CQ POTA. That's how I have it set up for calling CQ. And Walter says, that is a good question, Walter. We will need to have clarification on that from TO when he gets here. So I have made another contact with KM6WB in where is KM6? Wait there, KM6WB in California. I was hearing KM6WBI as a -10. They were hearing me as a +1. And now I'm having a pile up here and I'm making a contact with N3GX in Virginia. I am hearing them on a -5. Oh, signal's really dropped. It dropped down from -5 to a -20, but it doesn't look like they are able to hear me at the current time. And so I am gonna have to move on. Since they are not getting back. So and it looks like that I'm going way up here. Gonna respond to JA6BZI in Japan. So I haven't made a contact with Japan in a while, so hopefully this will work. And I just got a notification in my ear. I'm hearing a bunch of Japan today. So let's see who just joined. Tio joined us. So there we go.
Hey.
Welcome.
Yeah, for sure. I heard you guys were talking about the rule changes, but I missed all the conversation because I was in a chat.
Okay. So the question. Here's the rule. So this is what I've seen. So one question, just because that's highlighted the point difference with FT4 is you also still have up here in point 12 is currently only FT8s permitted.
Yeah, I just missed it.
Okay. So 12 is not accurate anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
I didn't even know that 12 was the thing. I went through and I changed the ones that I cared about and didn't know that this one existed. But yeah, we've proven that FT4 works great for the Thursday night contest. And because there's the opportunity to get twice the contacts in the same amount of time, but there's also there's some nuances that I have found when we've been doing this, where if you go to a really crowded band, like you go to 20 meters and there's 25 people on there all calling CQ and answering CQ, it's actually really hard to make a contact. And if I go to 60 meters, there's a bit of an advantage because there's only like 4 people on there. I'll bop on over to 60 meters. I'll make all 4 contacts with all 4 people on 60 meters. And then I'll go to 80 and I'll make all 7 contacts with all 7 people on 80 meters. And if I drop back down to 20, it's difficult. So I don't, I think there's some advantage to having less noise. There it is, signal to noise ratio. There's more people who are actively involved in making contacts on FT4 than there are contestants in the evening. So FT4's got an advantage there. And then number 2 is if you're calling CQ and 2 different people answer you, the exchange is so fast that the second person might still be calling you back at the end of your first completed QSO.
Yep.
So there's a benefit there.
Yeah, that's why I like FT4. Even it's not specifically that it's faster; it's the fact that I'm not getting trampled on. Like if you look at my sorry, I have too many screens up. If you look at my This one is the one I want. If you look at my waterfall right now, that's my FT8 waterfall at 20 meters. It's just completely stacked, and so it's like
Right.
I'll move over to FT4 just because I don't have to worry about getting stepped on as much. Like I do with FT8, and so
Exactly. So you're picking up what I'm putting down. It makes sense.
Yep. And so the other question Jim was on, and he had another point. He wanted to have clarification on Rule 7 and Rule 8.
So Rule 7 I didn't see. That just needs to be wiped out. Rule 8, alternating CQs on 2 or more frequencies on a band is not permitted. First off, we have no way of enforcing that if it is what I think it is. 2 or more frequencies. And how are you going to do that? Yeah, I mean, that goes back to either multiple radios or multiple instances of WSJTX on the same radio, which is difficult but not impossible.
Yeah. So, yeah, how I was thinking this was in the terms of that we're allowed multiple stations, is that you want to spread out so that you couldn't be calling CQ on the same, like have one station calling CQ on even and one station calling CQ on odd on the same
right
on the same band. Which I would think you would just want. There's enough time in an hour. I typically will call even half of the time, and then I'll switch over to odd when I use up all the contacts. So it's like, but yeah, that's how I
think the spirit of this rule was interleaving contacts. So I'm on 40 meter even 500 for lack of a better thing, and I start calling CQ. I put out my CQ call and I immediately switch to 40 meter odd on 1000 and put out another CQ call. I don't know how I would listen to that at the same time because my transmitter goes deaf when I'm transmitting, but somehow there's some way that you could make 2 contacts on the same radio with the same software at the same time. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of how this is actually possible to do on a single radio.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
the upcoming single operator 2 radio trick, I wouldn't do that on the same band anyway. I wouldn't have 2 radios on 40 meters at the same time doing the same thing.
I wouldn't either, but yeah.
I mean, what's the benefit in that?
You can get. My thought is you can work both sides of the
right.
Both sides at the same time.
But there's some danger in that too, because if you are working 40 meter odd on one radio and 40 meter even on the other, you're essentially transmitting into yourself.
Yeah. But
and
yeah,
that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's the question I've asked and is the question I asked of the technical of how to, like, having multiple antennas and trying to have, and you want to do this, or yeah, we have to watch this in Huntsville, is specifically what you were talking about of both being on 20 meters.
Right.
But yeah.
So we did this at a park. We had the G90 at 20 watts and the 706 at 100 watts sitting right next to each other. Not directly next to each other, but like 8 picnic tables apart. So I don't know, 25, 50 feet apart. And we were overloading. We were basically talking to each other on the overload. We weren't really doing any propagation or anything. We were just blasting each other's ears off. Yeah.
And I went a couple weekends ago when I went to visit Carlos. He said I was sitting in my van and he was halfway up a hill at the pavilion, and he said, and he was working 40 meters and I was working I was working 20 FT8, and he said every 15 seconds, his radio would just be blasted with static. And he was wondering what it was, and then he realized the pattern, and it's like, oh, it's every 15 seconds. That's Jeff transmitting in the car.
So you were on 20, overloading him on 40, because he was just basically going deaf with all of your power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was on 75-ish watts kicking out of my antenna, and yeah, so that's the thing of on that subject. Well, anyone in the chat, what questions do you have? What thoughts do you have with the new updated scoring? Any thoughts on what your strategies are going to be?
I think there's a lot of strategy on the table right now. What I wanted to try and do was also promote, like, summer's coming up, the 6 meter and 10 meter bands are going to open up. Technicians have the ability to work on those. So I was hoping that maybe giving a couple of extra points would get people to work on those bands. I made a 10 meter contact the other day on FT8. Work on that band, get an extra point for it, encourage technicians to play along, and they get a little bit of a bonus. So we would get 1 point for the contact plus 1 for working the tech band.
Yep.
So there's a bonus there. So my strategy for that would be to, which I do every week, is start off as high as possible. I start off on 6 meters, and then I work my way all the way down to 160. So I'm chasing the clock, I'm chasing the gray line, I'm chasing the time of day, I'm chasing the band conditions, and you might wind up seeing something there. So I might get a couple of early bonus points in the beginning, and then at the end I might go to like QRP FT4 and try and make as many contacts as I can on QRP FT4. And I find a lot more DX on FT4 than I do on FT8. So just out of sheer luck, I might get something through QRP DX FT4 where I would get 1 point for the contact, 2 points for DX, so that's 3, another point for QRP, that's 4, divide that in half, that's 2, and I'm still farther ahead at 2 points per contact than I am at 2 points per contact at twice the contact rate than I am at 1 point per contact local only.
Yep. Yeah, and with number 5 of the huge POTA soda bonus, yeah,
I want people in parks.
You're very much wanting people to get out in parks, and
it's summertime. So, yeah. We'll have the summer FT8 off and the winter FT8 off, right?
Yep. Yeah, we were talking when Dan Beer Snacks and I were working with the updates last night. Mike came in and he heard the rules, and it's like, okay, I'm going to be back at this park tomorrow.
Right.
To work,
so there's also special event stations, like pro tip, special event station call signs are free and can be set up for anything. I'm memorializing the anniversary of my great-grandmother's passing with W9GG. That's my special event call, and I've got it registered. It's on QRZ. It's in the registry as being a special event call, and I am operating that call for the entire FT8 off. Every single one of my calls is 4 points.
So that actually the question was raised is by Walter, does the person chasing also get 4 points?
So it says operating parks on the air, summit on the air. So you would be the one operating the parks on the air, not the one chasing the parks on the air. And maybe that's not clear enough. We can clear that up a bit, but that was what it was written as before. And I just tried to clean it up to make it more like a table almost of what the points looked like. Because at first it said like one point per contact within your own country equals 1 point. Like, okay, let's try and clean up the language a bit. And I was also kind of trying to get the rules done last night so we could get the code updated for the scoreboard so we could use them this week. So
yep. Okay, so it's not chasing, it's only those, or hunting, it's only the ones who are actually activating.
Right, so when you're in your shack, are you operating parks on the air?
No, okay.
That's the direction that we were headed with that. And by we, I mean like me editing dude's rules. Yeah,
for clarification, I would actually remove the within your own country in the point with 1. So it's you have 1 point for the contact. And
That makes sense.
Because DX, actually, if you think, it's like, oh, DX isn't within my country, so you don't get 0.1, but you actually do. You get 1 point for the contact and then 2 points for it being DX.
Yep. How many contacts have you made while we're talking?
Let me actually look at.
None.
3 or 4.
You've been sitting there with
I'm
your
currently
transmitter
at 5.
disabled. Yeah.
But my
Yeah,
last contact, I forgot to turn it. Oh, it is back on again. So
if we forget something in these rules, I mean, it's a fun, friendly competition. I mean, the prizes are millions and millions and millions of bragging points, right?
Yep.
You know, let's work within the spirit of it and then make the change going forward. Like, that clearly doesn't work. And what I would love to see is for like Nomad in a park operating QRP the entire session on FT4 and win the contest, because I think that's actually possible.
Oh, I think whoever is going to be in a park, whether it be me, whether it be Mike in 8YO, I think they're going to have a huge advantage. And yeah, Mike, I typically run 75 watts, so I'm not usually a QRP, but Mike does run he usually does run QRP 20 watts. So
you
it's
can't turn that 75 down to 20 and stay where you're at.
I can, and I probably will, especially if I see Mike on the scoreboard. I probably will.
Well, you got to beat Mike, and that's the only way to beat Mike is to go QRP, because he's already QRP in a park.
Yep. So that was the one. This was the one question that was raised of the comment about War Criminal, and am I correct that that's just one of the inside jokes teasing that has been going around with FT8Off?
Yeah, so the very first time that we did the FT8Off contest and put it onto QRZ, somebody came back immediately, and there's this old argument that QRP is a low power mode, and it's not. It's a weak signal mode.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the old rule of a gentleman ham radio operator uses only as much power as necessary to make the contact. And sometimes 1500 watts is necessary to make the contact. There's a lot of times I can hear a Great Britain station, for example, and they can't hear me. So I clearly don't have enough power. I don't have the right antenna. I'm not pointed in the right direction. Whatever the answer to that question is, I don't have it. And so somebody called dude a war criminal for operating more than 100 watts. So now we just run with it. Yeah, QRZ didn't like this contest. And not QRZ staff, the people in the forums. We call them the squad.
Yeah.
There's very specifically like 4 people in the forums that are well-known offenders.
So I am going to switch to over from looking at my waterfall. I'm switching from FT8 to FT4, and let's as you can see, there's a lot more open area to actually find a spot that you're not going to get trampled on. So
yeah, your waterfall looks pretty busy there. 20-meter FT8, that bottom section.
Oh yeah,
just cut the amount of traffic in half.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to sit at this nice spot at about 1150.
Yeah, so you've half the number of people that are available to contact, but more than doubled your chances of making a contact. It's weird how that works.
Yep. And let's clear off the logs a moment. And let's go over to my... So I did make that, before you got here, I was making some contacts, and I did make that Japan contact.
Awesome. Where are you sitting now?
I am in Iowa. Right here. Okay. Right here, central Iowa, at Rock something State Park. Let me actually look it up so I don't slaughter the name. And we have 7 more minutes Are you the first one on
I
the
am the first one on
Thursday Night
4:55
Ham Radio?
Central. Yep, 4:55 p.m. Central.
Okay. So you have about 7 minutes, 9 minutes if we go to the end of the dance.
Turn the radio on. Warm up your transmitters.
There we go. Rock Creek State Park. That's what it is. And so Terry says it's not the winning, it's the taking part. So
Exactly. It's all about having fun, and I'm trying to make it more fun. I don't think any of these rules limit you and stop you. I think these rules encourage you to be a better operator. You know, as an example, QRP in a park during a live stream it requires a lot of skill and talent.
Yep.
As opposed to just, click enable transmitter and go to sleep on the keyboard.
Yep. So, and where am I getting heard?
But you can also go to sleep on the keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you won't win.
Yep. So, yeah, so this is something I've, for streaming, can OBS output a screen share screen as well, or do they just do a virtual camera?
You'd have to do 2 different OBS sessions, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike says he don't need no stinking practice. He's going to beat you, Nomad.
We will see. So, but yeah, I'm just, because the reason I ask is because like right now it would be, I'd like OBS to output my shared. I'd like OBS to be able to output a screen share so I could have it go over here and replace where the rules are, instead of it being compared to one of the camera windows. So
you could do one camera pointed at you and then use OBS to compose a desktop scene that doesn't have any camera involved in it. So your camera wouldn't be tied up by OBS.
Oh no, the question is, but in StreamYard, this format is 2 cameras here, 2 cameras on the left, and then a screen share on the right.
Right.
And I don't know how to output OBS to do to do something that I can share as a screen share.
Yep, I understand what you're talking about now. No, because it shows up as a virtual. Oh no. I don't think you can. I'm not in the StreamYard side. You'd have to have a participant large and then everybody else in thumbnails on the side. That participant would be OBS as a virtual camera displaying whatever is composed in your OBS window. So you would join StreamYard twice, once from Ham Radio Nomad A as the OBS virtual camera, and once from Ham Radio Nomad B as the built-in webcam on your laptop, as an example.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you've got you big and then me small.
Yep.
So, and there's only 2 of us, so I can't tell. But if everybody else was here, we'd all be stacked up next to you.
Yep. Okay, so that might be something to play around with. So, okay.
I'm not seeing anything on 6 meters.
Yeah, I can see what. Let's stop my transmitting and see. Yeah, I just flipped through. I don't have an antenna set up for 6 meters yet, but I was I just flipped through just listened, and the other day I was getting I saw a couple cross-country contacts in 6 meters and 10 meters, and I was finding stuff all across the bands. Today, I think it was the highest I was able to get was 15 to hear something.
Yeah, I'm at 12, not hearing anything.
And of course, John brings up the comment of from Star Trek: if winning is not important, then why keep score?
It's all for bragging rights.
Yep. So, okay, so just a few more minutes. So I am not seeing. Let's go to. I think let's go to my other screen. This one. Okay. So I am not seeing anything on 6 meters. So let's jump down to 10 meters, and we'll just do.
All right, 15 meters is the lowest I can go today.
Okay, so you're basically seeing the same thing that I'm seeing of that I saw before. That there's nothing on anything higher than 15.
I
Yeah,
always
so
get those directions backwards.
That is 10 meters right there. Yeah, up and higher and lower and up and down is confusing with meter bands are looking go in different directions. So nothing on 12 meters there.
All right.
I'm looking at even 15 is dead for me right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in 15 either right now. So in theory, I do have a 17 meter stick, ham stick setup, but oh, I know why I'm not hearing anything. I'm still on FT4.
Nope. Yeah, 15 meters is looking pretty good right now.
So let's go to what I'm hearing on 50. Yeah, FT4 and yeah, 6 meters is a hit and miss.
All right, Jeff, the show is starting. I'm going to jump on over to my video and hang out in the chat.
Sounds good. Thank you, T.O. And I will be over there momentarily. I'm just going to do a wrap out while you do your dance. So,
all right, we'll see you.
Thanks. Take care. So, thank you for everyone who is watching. Please click the like, subscribe, and notify to be notified the next time I do a live stream. I am going to go over to the playlist. It is clicked and pinned to the top. So go over there and join me and T.O. for the Thursday Night Ham Radio. And we then join us again tonight for the FT8Off. New rules, new setups, possibly. And hopefully it will be all of us having a bunch of fun. So 73, until we talk again. Take care.